The race to contain the coronavirus is looking ever more desperate, especially in China, where people are desperate to escape. The fortunate passengers who are able to evacuate are being put through essentially a human car wash upon their arrival at various destinations. At least 425 people have died so far from the respiratory illness, which means it has now surpassed the deadly SARS epidemic. Remember that back in 2002, 2003, when 349 people died on mainland China? Well, people have been trapped under quarantine and businesses are being crippled. Here in the U.S., there are at least 11 confirmed cases, including a UMass student in Boston who just returned from Wuhan a few days ago. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo says more Americans will be evacuated, but the question now is when. We are going to go live to Hong Kong in just a moment, but first we go to the epicenter of the virus in Wuhan, where we're going to hear from an American stuck under quarantine there, desperately trying to get his family out. His name is Justin Reese, and he spoke with us earlier today.
Recording from Wuhan right now, where the main coronavirus is. I actually live here with my wife. Normally my community is usually very, very full of people all over the place running around, but as you can see, all the shops are closed down. This is due to them blocking off and quarantining off the city for a long time. This is where most of the cars are supposed to come in. However, we haven't had that many cars coming through today. It's about 5 p.m. right now, though. I got a call from the Beijing embassy, and the Beijing embassy says that they are trying to work on getting some paperless travel set up for Ling and the baby and getting them approved for this flight, but they're having a little trouble with the Chinese government side of things. So hopefully they can work with the Chinese government, get everything set up, and then Ling and I can figure out when the next available flight that we can take out of Wuhan would be. I decided to take a little bit of break, cool down a little bit outside. Try contacting the Department of State on this issue with wife and Ling and the baby. So I'm just getting a huge runaround. It's so frustrating because I served 5 years in the military and I get completely shafted when we need help and evacuation of these American citizens. When we're not busy with the baby, which is a full-time job, I'm trying to figure things out for the embassy. When I'm not able to figure things out for the embassy, I'm here trying to do my college work stuff, which is really, really stressful. We got the news that if we fly out on the 3rd, that I would be able to go and Colin would be able to go, but he'd have to have adjudication when we land in the U.S. The problem is they won't allow Ling to go, and since Ling can't go, it's kind of a problem. Ling and I were very much upset about the result. It's the first time I've seen her cry about this the entire time. There's no way I would ever separate a mother and her 1-month-old baby.
Understandably upset, just such a difficult situation there. Let's get more perspective on it and bring in ABC News senior foreign correspondent Ian Pannell live with us in Hong Kong tonight. And Ian, you've been in touch with people just like Justin trying desperately to get out. What do they hope for right now? What's their plan and what do they do next?
Yeah, that's right. We've, as a team, been speaking to Justin. We've also been speaking to another American guy and American woman, Priscilla, who's got an 8-year-old daughter, Hermione, and her situation is slightly complicated because she's separated from her husband. I think this is what we're seeing, is Americans who do not have straightforward cases, not that they shouldn't be allowed on the flight, but that there are passport and visa issues, were unable to get on that first Mercy mission. In fact, we just got off the phone to Priscilla, who's been pretty much stranded with her daughter, alone in the apartment. They were looking after a friend's household pet, and so they were in a separate apartment, but they're saying that they're hoping to go to the airport this evening. Bear in mind, it's already Tuesday, the 4th of February here in Hong Kong. Going to the airport this evening. They're expecting to get on a flight tonight, but one of the other Americans we just spoke to isn't expecting to be on that flight, but is told there will be another this week. So we're expecting a small number of flights to take place to allow those Americans to leave.
And give us a sense of the recent strikes there in Hong Kong and the efforts to prevent the disease from spreading there.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, look, life has become very difficult. You've got to remember that Hong Kong was almost ground zero for the SARS outbreak in 2003. Almost 300 people died. We went to one particular block of apartments where the outbreak had happened. Multiple people died in that location. So people in Hong Kong are highly sensitive to this outbreak. Everybody's wearing face masks out on the street, but you can't get them for love nor money out in the stores now. They've sold out of face masks. They've sold out of hand sterilizer. When you come into this hotel where I'm talking to you from, you've got to do a temperature check before you can even approach reception. So everybody's being tested, everybody's being cautious. People no longer shake hands when they meet in the streets or embrace when they meet loved ones. People are being very, very cautious. But meanwhile, we've got healthcare workers out here who are on the front line. We've got 15 confirmed cases, many more suspected cases in Hong Kong, having to deal with this with borders still open with China. And so they've gone out on strike. We're expecting 6,000 more today to go on strike. That'll be 9,000 in total, because they're saying until the government shuts the borders, until they get more protective equipment, then they can't carry on their work.
Ian, just concerned about you. What are you doing to stay safe?
Yeah, again, when we're going out, we are wearing face masks. But look, these masks are limited. I mean, it gives you a sense of security and everyone wears them. But they're very flimsy pieces of material. They're supposed to be disposed of at the end of each day. But of course, you can't buy more, so inevitably, you tend to wear these day after day. So it gives you a sense of security, but it doesn't really give you the kind of protection from that kind of infection. Of course, as soon as you put a face mask on, you're immediately touching your face. And what about your hands? Are your hands clean? So those are the kind of weird considerations always going through your back of your mind. And it's hard to avoid any public scenarios where you are potentially with someone who could be infected.
Right. Tenuous situation there. Our Ian panel live in Hong Kong, where it is morning now. Thank you, Ian.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.